Example 1. These are 3.1, 3.2, the story problems on systems of equations. Okay, read the first question. It says, the sum of two numbers is 67. So we're going to use, let's just use x and y to represent our two numbers. So how would we write the sum of those two numbers is 67?
X plus y equals 67.
You got it, x plus y equals 67. So, and then it says the smaller number is 3 less than the larger number. So here's the smaller number. Here's the smaller number, we're going to call it x. And here's the larger number, y. What do you have to do to the smaller number to get it equal to the larger number?
X plus 3.
X plus 3. So let's do that. X plus 3 equals 9.
9?
Y.
Y.
Equals y. What did I say? I said 9.
It's on YouTube. Hi, YouTube.
All right, now how would you solve this? What method? Substitution, good. I would substitute x plus y in, x plus 3, I can't talk. X plus 3 in for y right here.
Yeah.
So you've got x plus 3 equals 67, right? And then add the two x's together, subtract 3, and what's x? So the smaller number is 32. How would you find the larger number? Sub it in here, and you get 32 plus 3 is?
36? No, 35. I'm an idiot.
Is 35. Now let's check it out. If we added these two up, do you get 67? Yep. Is the smaller number 3 less than the larger? Yep, it worked. Good? Okay, now I want you to flip to your homework on the very back. And I want you to read question 1 and set it up. Everybody set it up. See if it says, the sum of two numbers is 128. How do you write that? The sum of two numbers is 128.
X plus y equals 128.
And then it says their difference is 44. X minus y, the difference of those two numbers is 44. Okay? Now you can solve it at home. Don't do it now. But that's the setup. Go ahead.
No, no, no.
The word difference means subtract.
I know that, but I don't know how to
This one you would have to use, I would use elimination. Add right down. Okay, read number 2. It says, the sum of two numbers is 23. So what's that equation?
Plus y equals
X plus
23.
y equals 24.
Yep. And then it says, if one of the numbers is halved, what does that mean?
Like what?
Half of it, so half x. The sum of those two numbers then would be 17. So what would you write?
Plus y.
Plus what?
Yeah. Okay, you can solve those at home, okay? Now go to example 2. This is an important problem. Sasha has $1.65 in dimes and nickels. She's got 21 coins. We want to know how many dimes and how many nickels she has. Now, from here on, most of the equations, I want you to think like this. You've got two items. What are your two items that you're talking about? Label them. Dimes and nickels. Would you guys agree with D and N for my two letters? Okay. Now, one of the equations, I want you to look for how many items we have. How many units of dimes and nickels collectively do we have? How many? Here, there you go. We have 21 nickels and dimes. So look for the quantity, and that's going to be one of your equations. N plus D, or D plus N, is 21. That's the number of units, pieces that you have. The second equation is going to attach how much is a dime worth. What's a dime worth?
10 cents.
10 cents. So you're gonna turn this into .10 D. How much is a nickel worth? 0.05. And how much money do we have?
165.
So those are your two equations. Now let's solve it. I don't like decimals, so I like to get rid of these decimals. So I'm gonna move this over twice, this over twice, and this over twice. So my top equation, D plus N, keep that the same. I'm gonna turn this into 10D plus 5N equals 165. Is everyone okay with that? Getting rid of decimals? Now I'm gonna multiply the top equation by -5. Where did I get -5 at? Uh-huh. So I get -5D minus 5N equals -105. I multiplied everything by 5, -5. Okay, when I add these down, I get 5D equals 60. What's D? 12. So that means 12 dimes. Then how many nickels am I going to have? 9. You substitute that in. Is everyone cool with that? All right, now flip over to your homework, and I want you to set up 3 and 4. Number 3 says Jocelyn has $1.50 in her pocket. She's got 23 nickels and dimes, and how many of each type does she have if she has a total of $1.50 in her pocket? So, can someone give me one of the two equations?
N plus D equals 23.
Yep, N plus D equals 23. We have 23 nickels and dimes. Now, what's the second equation gonna be?
0.10D plus 0.05N.
A nickel, how much is a nickel? 0.05 N. How much is a dime?
0.10.
And we have $1.50. Okay, so you can solve that at home, right? Okay, can you set up number 4 for me? Jim he's cleaning out a pool, and he collects 20 nickels and quarters. He figures out he's got $2.60. How many quarters? It says, this one just says how many quarters. N plus, we have nickels and quarters, N plus Q is what? 20, and then what?
0.05 plus 20.
Equals.
260.
Now for this one, since the question is how many quarters does he have, you want to get rid of the N value so you can find Q. Now if you get rid of Q and find N, then you'd have to substitute it and find Q. Get it? All right, go back to example number 3. Okay, we've got a concession stand, and we're selling 2 things. Hot dogs and hamburgers. So those are our 2 things. What letters do you want to use for hot dogs?
HD and HB.
You want to use D for dogs and B for burgers? D and B? Dogs and burgers? D and B. Okay. So, at halftime, they sold a total of 78 hamburgers and hot dogs, both together. And we brought in $105.50. We want to know how many of each did we sell if we've got hamburgers are $1.50 and hot dogs are $1.25. Treat this just like the money problem here. How many items did we sell? How many units? 78. So we're going to do D, dogs and burgers. We have 78 of them. How much is a dog?
125.
It's 125. So 1.25D plus hamburgers are 1.5. And how much did we sell? Okay, now let's take a minute and solve this one. If you don't like to get rid of decimals, you don't have to. If you like to deal with it, if you want to use substitution, you could. But I like to get rid of decimals. So I'm gonna keep my first equation the same, and I'm gonna turn this one into 125D plus 150. I'd rather work with a big number than a decimal. All I did was I multiplied this whole thing by 100. Moved 2 over, 2 over, and 2 over. Okay, I'm gonna multiply this top equation by what?
Negative 125.
Negative 125 is good. So you get negative 125D minus 125B equals, what's negative 125 times 78?
800.
Negative 9,750.
Okay, when you, huh? Where are we getting it? Right here, we wanna get rid of
Whatever we multiply it
the whole top equation. This is this equation, and now I'm gonna take this one and multiply everything by negative 125, because I wanna get rid of this.
by.
I wanna add my 125s and get 0. So you get 25B equals 800, and then divide by 25. What do you get?
I don't know.
800 divided by 25,
32.
32. 32 what?
Burger.
Burgers. 32 burgers. How do we figure out how many hot dogs?
Just instead of 28.
We're gonna substitute 32 right here and do what's 78 minus 32. 46 hot dogs. Good? Okay, now, I want you to go to the homework, and I want you to set up number 5. A sporting goods store sells soccer and baseball shoes. So what letters do you want to use for soccer shoes?
S&B.
S and B? Everyone cool with that? S and B. In 1 month, we're selling 50 pairs of shoes, and we're bringing in $1,340. Soccer shoes are $25 each, and baseball shoes are $30 each. How many of each shoe were sold? Do you know the two equations?
S plus
What
B
are they?
equals 50.
Good. S plus B equals 50, and what's the other equation?
25 S plus 30B.
Look at that, Mr.
Yeah,
Urbana.
I'm loving it.
You're all smart.
And you guys say you hate story problems.
But they got it.
It's because they're long.
Huh?
It's because they're long.
They're long?
They're drawn out.
Yeah, you just
For me, it was like, what are you talking about when I read it? I'd have to read them 3 or 4 times,
Yeah.
mark up that problem and get it.
I would read
Natural.
these. Yeah. Okay, try to set up number 6. You're buying meat for a cookout, and you need 8 packages of meat. What you guys are doing is you're seeing the pattern, and you're keeping that pattern going, which is great. You've got hot dogs again and hamburgers, and how much of each package are you gonna get? You spend a total of $23. So what, can anyone tell me one of the equations?
D plus H equals 8.
D.
I heard D plus
B.
equals 8, yeah, we want 8 packages. How much is a package of hot dogs?
1, 6,
How much is a package of hamburgers?
5,
And how much do we spend? 23, good job. Try to set up number 7. At your fundraiser, you served an all-you-can-eat barbecue. You're serving 210 people, and you raised $930. If the amount of each adult of each adult was $6 and the children were $3, how many adult and children were served at this fundraiser? A plus C, I like how you use A and C. 210, 6A plus 3C equals 930. Good job. Okay, go back to example 4.
I don't like percentages.
Example 4. Okay. A sporting goods store sells right-handed and left-handed gloves. In 1 month, 12 gloves were sold. We brought in $561. Right-handed gloves are 45 and left-handed gloves are 52. How many of each type did you sell? Can you do that one for me? Did you get R plus L is 12? And 45R plus 52L is 561? Now, how would you solve these? Times what? I would do that also. I would multiply the top by negative 45. You can, no, you can get L or R by, it's up to you. I think we all tend to prefer elimination better, especially when they're set up like this. Did you get negative 540?
Yeah.
And then so, what do we have here? 45, 5, 7L is equal to 21, right?
It's positive.
Oh,
20.
positive.
And L is 3. So that means 3 left gloves. And then subtract that. Subtract that, and you get 9. Now, think about the reasonableness of your answer. If you ended up getting something like 15 gloves, you know you're wrong. You only sold 12 gloves. You can't have more than what you sold. Yes, Rico.
How'd you get negative 540?
How did I get negative 540? Alex said, let's multiply the top by negative 45, because we want to get rid of this. So negative 45 times 1 is negative 45, negative 45 times L is negative 45,
okay.
and negative 45 times 12 is negative 540. Okay?
And actually, I'm glad you asked that question, because kids will do the variables, okay, and then forget to multiply the final answer.
Yeah.
That's a major problem.
That's it, and then they want to know, why is my answer not coming out right? Because they forget to multiply that constant by the number also.
And that's why Miss Burbach still, she'll take that negative 45 and draw it to each part, because otherwise I made stupid errors.
Okay, this next one is very, very important. It's very, very similar to the other ones with a little twist. Instead of attaching a value to each of these two items, we're talking about stocks, or you have percentages. All you have to do is convert the percentage to a decimal. How do you convert a percent to a decimal? You move it 2 places to the left. Just simple as that. Move it 2 places to the left, okay? So now, I want you to think of these as in the same way. Joe is saving $3,000. So the big amount that he's saving is $3,000 in 2 different accounts. So we're gonna say X plus Y is equal to 3,000. Okay, everybody understand? That's like how many units that you have. The big picture is the 3,000. He would like to earn, that's how much he wants to earn by investing in these 2 accounts. One account earns 6%. So now we're gonna turn 6% into a decimal. How do you turn 6% into a decimal? 0.06x. And the other account, which is a high risk account, earns it's risky, it's 10%. So turn that to a decimal. And we wanna earn $216, so that's what goes with this one. Everyone catch that? So it's like the money problem, the how many quarters and dimes, just like that, but you have to, people get the $2 amounts confused. They'll write x plus y equals 216, and then they'll write 0.06x plus 0.10, that's wrong.
And most everybody sees this 10% when you move it to, you see it as 0.1, right? You put the 0 there just to show it's 10%. This is the one that people make errors on, they'll say 0.6. You have to really watch where your decimal is, move it over 2, you need a 0 in there. 0.06.
Yes.
Common errors, so make sure you don't do that.
Now, this is, let's go through and solve this. How would you solve it? Are you guys, do you like to get rid of the decimals? Let's do that. Let's get, how do you turn this? Okay, so what do you get? Tom, read it to me. 6x plus 10y equals 21600. Very good.
And another student asked, can I just go right to that?
Yep.
And you can. Which would really save any transfer to the percentage. But you have to remember to add the 2 zeros in the answer.
Now, what would you do to solve it? Now, sometimes I like to go across, I draw these double arrows. I'll do that. If that is an idea, that's just a suggestion, you can do that. So -6 times all of this would be -6x minus 6y equals, and then keep the bottom one. Now I'm trying to conserve paper, that's why I didn't give you a lot of room. So you get 4y equals 21,600 minus 18,000. I got 3,600, 3,600. So that's 900. Is that right?
Yeah.
900. 4 goes into 36 9 times and then 2 zeros. So what does this mean? 900. Why 900? Why is 900?
Value that you're earning.
Whoa.
So out of the $3,000, we're gonna put, what is the Y account? That's the 10% account. So we're gonna put $900, sorry, $900 in the 10% account. We're not gonna put as much in that account because it's high risk. Because you might lose it, so it's risky. How much of the 3,000 did you put then in the 6%?
21.
We're being conservative. You get that? Okay, now I'm gonna have you set up, go to your homework. I'm gonna have you set up 8 and 9. 8 and 9. You have $6,000 to invest in 2 stock funds. One pays 5% and the other one pays 9%. And you want to make $380 in interest. How would you set that up?
So y plus x equals 600.
Yep, x plus y equals 6,000. And what's the other one?
Oh, I already multiplied it. Do you want to already multiply it?
I'll write this one first because we're gonna stay consistent. And then if you rewrote it, did you get 5x
Yeah,
plus 9y equals 380 and 2 zeros? And that's fine too. Okay? Don't solve it, do that at home. And number 9, set up number 9. A student is investing 5,000 in 2 different accounts. One account pays 3%, the other one is 4%. At the end of the year, she earns 185 in interest. What would be the 2 equations?
X plus y equals 500.
Mm-hmm.
1, 0, 3x plus 1.
Equals?
185.
Good job.
Is it 4%?
It's 4%, yeah.
Did I mess?
You put
Oh,
5.
okay, and I have no eraser. Here. 4%. Okay, and the last one, this one's, last one we're gonna do today. Actually, there's two more. A lab technician is mixing 10% saline and 4% saline. How much of each type should be used? We want 500 milliliters, and we want our new solution to be 6%. This is a little different. So, one equation is gonna be x plus y is 500. Because we want 500 milliliters. One of your solutions is 10%, so 0.10x. And we're gonna mix that with 4%, 0.04y. Now this is the tricky part right here. I want my new solution to be worth 6%. We have to take 6% of 500. So you're gonna do 0.06 times 500. So do 0.06 times 500, and that's what you have here. This is gonna be 30. So let's solve this one. How do you solve it? So I would convert this to 10x, and then 4y equals 3, 0, we're gonna add 2 zeros. Some of you will just go straight to multiplying this by negative 10. Wanna do that? Save some room. So negative 10x minus 10y equals negative 5,000. And when you add, you get negative, now watch, you're gonna get a negative here, but that's okay, because you're gonna get a negative here also, so they'll cancel out. And then divide. And you get 333 1/3. And you get 166 for the other 1 1/3. Or 2/3, I'm sorry. So how much of each solution? You have 166 2/3 of the 10%.
You take repeating decimals.
Uh-huh. And 333 1/3 of the 4%. Okay, let's set up number 10. In a chemistry lab, you have 2 types of vinegar. One's 5% acidic acid, and one's 6.5. Ooh. Okay, so you want to make 200 milliliters, but you want it to be 6%. The new solution to be 6%. So how much of each vinegar are you going to mix? How much of X and how much of Y? Can you give me the 2 equations?
X plus Y just
Equals 200, right? And what's the other equation? 0.05x plus 0.065y equals. Now what do you do to get this number right here? You're gonna do 200 times 0.06. And what do you get?
12.
12? And those are your 2 equations. You can solve that. In the last example, I put this example 7 on because it's a little different. Yeah,
Can you go back to that?
yeah, sure.
If it's 6.5, then why is it 0.065?
Because it's 6.5%. You have to move this over 2. 1, 2. 0.065. Okay. Okay, example 7, you're getting ready to move and you have asked some friends to help. So, you're gonna feed them lunch and dinner. At lunchtime, you buy the following, you buy 6 tuna sandwiches and 6 ham sandwiches and you spend $30. And then later, this one's a little different, later at night, everyone's hungry again, and you go back to the same place, and you buy 4 tuna sandwiches and 8, and you spend $30.60. Can you give me 2 equations out of that? Anyone think they know one of them? Go ahead, Alex.
6S plus, or 6T.
6T tuna,
6H equals 30.
yeah. And what's the other one? 4 tuna,
14
4T,
plus
and 8
H
H.
equals 30.
Now how are you gonna solve this one?
Multiply, dot 1 minus 3,
Mhm. I would do this by 2, and this by -3. So you get 12 and -12, that's fine, let's do it. So you get 12, top one, 12, this top equation becomes 12t plus 12h equals 60. And the bottom one, -12t minus 24h is gonna give you a negative. $30.60 times -3. Negative 91.60? 80? Oh, 80, I'm sorry, I can't see. So you get 12 minus 24 is -12h. And what's this? 3180? Ooh. 2.65?
Yeah, $2.
Oh, that's, oh, we're finding out how much they cost.
Yeah, for each one.
Okay. I'm thinking a number of sandwiches. Okay, so the ham sandwich is $2.65 for the ham. And how do you find out how much the other one's gonna cost? I would plug it in wherever you want. I'd probably plug it in here. So 6t plus 6 times 265 equals 30. You could do that on your calculator. So 6 times 265 is 15. This is 1590. And 30 minus 1590 is 1410. And then divide that by 6. And you get 235. Did you get 235?
Yep.
And that's for your tuna. You guys did awesome. So for homework, you're just going to solve those 10 questions that are set up. And I will post them on YouTube. Did we have any questions?
Should I stop
Did you learn
recording,
anything today?
Miss Audio? Should I?
Yes. Oh, please turn it on.
Bye.